So today I want to talk about this small indie esports company you might know. They're called Sentinels. And for the last couple months, they've been declaring that they have been bankrupt or close to being bankrupt. And I remember them asking for crowdfunding in order to continue funding Sentinels. As well as they had Send Society announced, a couple of months before even that announcement. $5 a month gets you access to like a bunch of videos, and I guess you get to know the players a little bit better. As far as I know, it might be just the Apex team and the Valorant team, and you also get like exclusive like shop items that you can buy. So if you're a huge Sentinels fan, maybe then it's worth it. Also, that jacket that they have is awesome. But I would not pay for Send Society waiting for that to be sold to me. I would just wait till it comes to the shop. Anywho, my point is, Sentinels is not a very like poverty-ridden organization. They have Tarik signed as one of the representatives, and he does a lot of Valorant content on Twitch, and he is always involved with the Valorant roster, especially with announcements and stuff. So this week, we found out that JohnQT is going to be part of the new Sentinels roster. And yeah, this seemed to be the most logical move. If you don't know who JohnQT is, maybe you don't watch Tier 2, he is the IGL. He was the IGL for M80, the number 2 org in America's Ascension. And he took that team pretty far. M80 was a very new org. They're now an org on Counter-Strike. I hope that it goes well because NACS needs to be in a better spot. But we're talking about Valorant here. Yes, JohnQT was the IGL for M80, so it's proven that he's very good. And this seemed to be a natural move for Sentinels because they had Marved at the IGL position. Now, Sentinels didn't do particularly good last year, and they missed out on America's playoffs, which means that they didn't qualify for any international events. And at LCQ, despite beating 100 Thieves, they managed to not go much further than that. So they didn't qualify for anything, not even like LCQ, no champs, nothing. But they are clouded. They have TenZ, or so we thought, because TenZ contract was coming to an expiration. Now, you might be thinking, with the esports winter, maybe it's just natural for TenZ to move away. He has a lot of personal things going on in his life, stuff that I would rather not talk about here. That's his business. But we were seeing that he was injury prone because of his finger, and he had a lot of personal stuff going on. So a lot of people were thinking that maybe he might want to move away. The roster is going to change. Certain players are going to be here, maybe not be here. One of the biggest concerns about the Sentinels roster was that Pancada and Sacy were not going to fit into the system. And you may be wondering, like, why would anyone think that? Well, they're Brazilian. They might not know how to speak English very fluidly. You can even see in a lot of like their YouTube Sentinels like channel stuff that Pancada speaks kind of poor English, and Sacy, actually, he speaks pretty decent English. So a lot of the concern was there. And they also moved Pancada to the Sentinel role, and they had Marved as the Smokes role. And yeah, Marv tried to do his best given the situation. The situation was Def had left Valorant because he wasn't doing very well. And they also had the whole drama with changing coaches. So Sentinels was a very unstable environment to be working in. So Marv did his best. He tried to get the team where they wanted to be, and it unfortunately didn't work out. Now they're faced with a decision. Do we keep Marv or do we release Marv? They actually haven't made a decision yet, but with the rumors that Marv is going to NRG to reunite with Crashes and Victor, this seems like the likely move. He had a good time. He was a substitute, and now it's time to move on. Which leads me to my next part. Sentinels have also signed Zellsis as their 6th man. So he will be the substitute for this team. And, a lot of people were hoping that Zellsis was going to be a part of the main roster. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. But you may be asking why. Well, actually, Zellsis talked about this a little bit during his stream today. He said that because of the situation in esports and the recession and money not being available in certain orgs, that he felt more comfortable returning to Sentinels as a 6-man. Now, what he's getting paid is undisclosed because salaries aren't made publicly available to us, unlike other like sports. So we don't know anything. We actually are just speculating. Even though I'm saying, oh, Sentinel is a poverty organization, I doubt TenZ or Zellsis are being paid league minimum. Now, do I think that Zellsis is getting paid like a normal player? Absolutely not. Why? Because he said that his focus is to make content for Sentinels and he wants to compete. Now, what some people are overlooking is the fact that now tier 2 rosters can trade with tier 1 rosters. And so I would not be surprised if we see Zellsis move to a tier 2 position as, a substitute between a tier 2 team and a tier 1 team while he's making content at the same time. So it really is a win-win situation for Zellsis because not only is he making content, but he's also getting paid and he's still competing, which is awesome for him. And, it's good for Sentinels because they have someone who is proven to be solid. I mean, his performance in C9 was really good. And so he can move forward, with all the things he wants to do. And this kind of leads me to like a small point, not frustration or anything like that, just kind of funny, because esports orgs tend to be a little greedy, like given these days. And so the fact that, Sentinels was asking for crowdfunding and now they've signed kind of very clouded players. JohnQT, I don't think he's very clouded, but he's very good at what he does. And like I said, I doubt he's getting paid league minimum. But it's a great move. Sentinels is building for the future. This is the type of changes that I like to see. Rosters competing to win. That's it. Have a good day. I might not be releasing a video this week simply because I think I'm going to wait until all the roster moves are complete and then make a more cohesive big video where you can see all the roster moves that are going to happen. And I'm actually thinking about bringing in a couple of other YouTubers, and yeah, it should be cool. So, I'm Zeph, and I'm out. Later.